In previous episodes, we set up a new game called Demo. We created some parameters for the game, and we launched the game specifying those parameters. If we run this script, then new AI players are added to the graph, and they play one round of a public goods game. If this were a real experiment, we would want to run multiple rounds of the game and see how people's choices change over time. This is where steps come in. Steps allow us to set up the logic of different steps of the game and repeat them. When you open the Steps dialog, you will see that there are 3 default steps. There's an onJoin step and an onLeave step. These are run when a player joins or leaves the game, respectively. We won't be using these in this episode. The 3rd default step is called Init Step. The Init Step is run when you click the Run button here. In the Init Step, we're going to put all the code that sets up the graph and sets the initial state of the nodes. You'll see that each step has a run and a done closure. The run closure is run when the step starts, and the done closure is run when there is nothing left to do, when all players have made their choices. In the init step.run closure, we're going to put the code for adding new players to the graph, connecting them in a random graph, and setting the initial properties of each node. The next step we're going to need we'll call the cooperation step. And this will be the step where players make their choices to either cooperate or defect. To add a new step, click the plus button here. You'll see that the cooperation step looks a lot like the init step. It has a run and a done closure. In the run closure, we're going to add the action to each player. Again, I'll copy the code from here. And we'll save that. In the init step.done closure, we're going to write cooperation step .start. This means when the init step is done, the cooperation step will start. Let's empty the graph. So now, if I click the Run button, then one round of the public goods game will run. Now we want to make it so that the AI players will play multiple rounds of the cooperation game. To do that, let's add another parameter. We'll call it n rounds. It'll be an integer, let's say between 1 and 20, with a default of, let's say, 10 rounds. We'll also need a global variable to keep track of the current round. We'll add the variable here. we want to check to see if we want to start another cooperation step or whether we want to finish the game. We have to do one more thing after we start the next round of the cooperation step, which is increment the current round. We'll have to launch a new game with a new nRounds parameter. And now if we click the Run button, the AI players will go through 3 rounds of the cooperation game.